Hello, okay, Brootatochip here. I just did a 20-minute recording of exactly what I'm about to talk about. But anyways, I'm just freestyling a video. I didn't know because I was streaming earlier today. By the way, I stream every single day at 6 a.m. starting Pacific. Every single day, come by, tune in, TFT, competitive. But anyways, I had, what's it called? Something on the screen to where it like blocked a lot of it, so it kind of sucked. And then I said like a ton, so I'm gonna try to like cut a lot of that out. But anyways, the video is about a flexible fast 8 comp for the people that want to eliminate as much variance as possible while playing TFT. So just what I mean by that is having a bunch of options on your fast 8 roll down and it being pretty much a fluid comp. So to begin with, I'm going to keep it super simple because the last one might have been a little bit confusing. So you're really looking for 5 Street Demon or 7 Street Demon, 3 to 5 Strategists at the end. Why it's really good and easy to play is because for anyone who hasn't seen the set already, is that Street Demon and Strategist, they buff your whole team. So they just give your whole team stats, which is really good, right? And also the comp has AD item holders and AP item holders, which is really important to me, especially in a fast 8 comp, because sometimes you plan on playing AP, and if your comp that you're going for doesn't have any AD item holders, you're getting a bunch of AD items, then you're just screwed. And that's happened a bunch of times. The worst thing ever, right? So that is one thing that I highly value in a fast 8 comp. Kind of like Academy. You could play Ezra and Heimer, right, from the last set. But there were some comps that, sorcerers, if you got a bunch of swords, that was feeling pretty bad, right? So I do think that Riot did a good job making this. But anyways, I'll show you right here. To keep it simple, and so your main front line is going to be Echo. Because whatever items you give Echo, you can transfer them over to Nico. They literally have the exact same stat synergies, Street Demon and Strategist, okay? Then you have, for your damage dealer, your item holder in the back line is Zyra right here. And then the same thing with like Nico and Bran, or Nico and Echo. Zyra and Bran, they have the exact same synergies. So, and then let's say your mid-game item holder, that could be Jinx for AD items. And she's also a Street Genie, right? So, these are your flexible units that you would play. So, let's see what a beginning board would look like. Let me take these off right here. So, Mundo is a Street Demon. So, if you could fit Street Demon in early, that's really good, right? So, but this won't be enough. If this is all you have, you got to do what you got to do. You're not leveling to 4, but it is Street Demon. What you would like to do is either add a Bruiser or a Strategist to this, right? So, just an Alistar level 1 be pretty common. If you high roll, you could also do a Mordekaiser right here. So what's good about Mordekaiser in this board, there's a couple things you could do with him. He could also, instead of hitting the Nico, if you had to roll at level 7, you could actually 3-star Mordekaiser. He's a really good tank. And he also, he fits in with the comp because he has Techie and Bruiser. The Exotech, not so much. But he does have Techie and Bruiser. So that will be tanky enough with 3 items and a 3-star. And it fits with your Mundo. And then keep in mind, he's also getting the bonuses from the Street Demon, right? So, if you're losing health, you got a bunch of AD items, you don't think you'll have that much gold to roll at 8, it just wasn't feeling great. Well, this might save you because you could just re-roll Mordekaiser and Jinx, maybe hit an Echo 3 or something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you'd have one more unit in. It'd be a 5th Street Demon. Could do like a Rengar. Now you got 5 Street Demon. And you could also reroll for him because he's 3-star. And then, you know, maybe at 7 you hit a Nico, right? Pop that in. I mean, you definitely will, you know, usually hit 1. So you could get rid of Mundo, making your board better, right? And this is only at level 7. This is not impossible. And you could get rid of Rengar and have Bran. So this is a pretty solid board, right? Oh, get rid of Alistar. Oh, you could just put Mundo back in there. You got Strategist. You do have 3 Techie. Doesn't matter that much. I mean, you could do... Oh, you want to do a Marksman if you're re-rolling Jakes. This is one line that I haven't done. I have done 4 Techie, re-roll Mordekaiser. But Jakes is pretty strong. She'll be fine. She holds your Samira items at level... at 2 stars. So you could just put in the Marksman there. Really, whichever one that you hit. Jin's fine. Now you're at 2 Exotech. You got a random Exotech emblem. You can put it somewhere. Pop the item on the most useful person. But you get the idea. So that's a reroll. So your most standard will come down to this right here. Is Nico. Right there. And then, you know, you also have the option of hitting the 10 Street Demon, which is a guaranteed win. But I also like this comp because you don't need any emblems and how flexible it is, right? So let's go to exactly what I'm talking about before your level 8 roll down, what a board would look like. So you could literally just go with Echo 2-star. He's been taken for you. Not this one. Echo 2-star. He's been taken for you. Let's get the Mundo back in here. And then what else would we have? So we could do Alistar or Mordekaiser. I mean, probably got a Mordekaiser by now. And then you got a LeBlanc. You could do a LeBlanc. So what do we have here? We have 6. So yeah, this could be your stage 3 board. This is solid. 4 Street Demon, it's fine. 2 Strategist and 2 Bruiser. So what's good about this is that your team is benefiting from the Street Demon and the Strategist. I think that's what makes this comp so strong, because these are team-wide buffs. It's giving your whole board a bunch of stats, right? So you can think about it like this: everyone's getting 5% durability that's in the front row. So you're getting 15% durability in the front row, not including Echo because he gets triple. So you're really getting 15 for him and then 5 for each of the others. So that's 25% durability just added into your team. And you're getting 7% on Zyra, damage amp, and Jinx, 7%. So that's 14. And then LeBlanc she gets triple, so she gets 21. So that's 35% damage amp and 25% durability for your front row, excuse me. All 4 just putting in 1 unit, right? And it gets even crazier. It goes up to 11 and 7. You can see what happens. Just think, more that I hit of these 2, the more my team's getting stronger, right? You don't have to know the exact numbers. Really does not matter at all. And then also, or Yumi. Yumi is very strong. You could also do a Yumi reroll. I didn't even think about that. But she does go in your final board because of her Strategist and her amp. So the amp will boost up your Samira. And remember, Jinx is your item holder for your Samira because you're not always guaranteed, or it takes a while to find a Samira. She's a legendary, right? So now you have options depending on whatever you hit. In the early game, your Yumi, your LeBlanc, your Zyra can all hold your brand items, right? And same thing with Echo, Mundo, or Mordekaiser. They can all hold your Nico items, right? So here's your options for... So this would be your main tank, what you'd want right here. This would be your main AD damage. And then your AP damage... you have Brand, and then you also have another option which I really like. They're probably gonna nerf it. I think it's too strong. So you either have Brand, or you have also Ziggs, because he's a strategist. So Ziggs you want on your board as well, whenever you can fit him, or it goes over LeBlanc. But if let's say sometimes it happens, you roll down an 8, you did not hit one brand, but you got a Ziggs too. Put the items on him. Super strong. He's not gonna get double the Street Demon bonus, but he does benefit from at least the stats, and that that really helps. But he's strong enough. You can even top 4 if you never see another brand, right? Mordekaiser 2, he can hold you off till you get that Nico. You can put in if you get lucky, you can hit Bastion. You can do some form of Bastion, Street Genie. You can do Kobuko as the Bruiser instead of the Mordekaiser. You got a lot of options here. The Garen. So the really nice thing about slotting in a Garen every now and then is that, so if anyone that doesn't know, he gives your team one of the units on your board is what's called a mod. And what the mod does is it lets that unit that you give the mod to benefit from one of the traits. It doesn't add to the trait, so it wouldn't make it, oh, now I got 8 Street Demon. It'll just let, okay, I got a strategist mod, I'm going to give it to Samara. Now, instead of just the 20% damage amp for having 5 strategists, she gets 60% damage amp for having 5 strategists. It's not going to make it 6 strategists. That's the only thing it won't do, right? So those are just some options that you can do with the board. And then what's nice about it is that you can just swap the Echo items for the Nico. Now you have your tank. Don't need the Mordekaiser, don't need the Kabuko, don't need the Jinx. So this would be what your board would look like. So 6 Street Demon. You could do your 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 9. So I'll just take one out, be the Zyra. Don't really care about Techie, right? For the Garen. If you don't hit a Garen, you just put in a Strategist. Or you can put in a Techie. You can have the Mordekaiser in, right? Gives you the Bruiser Techie right there. That's more tank line, right? Because if this was my board, what would you be worried about? I'd be worried about my tank line. I'd want more front line, right? So you could do Mordekaiser, or what's really nice about the Strategist trait in particular is that even if you don't hit this Bruiser Techie, you just get a Strategist. Let's see. Oh, it's just LeBlanc. You pop in the LeBlanc. That is more durability for your Nico. And she gets triple the durability. And there's also more damage too on top of that. So it's just flexible. You're not just stuck here, oh, I have to hit this Mordekaiser. I have to hit this Mordekaiser. I have to get this 7 Street Demon. Or I have to get this amp, right? That's another one you can do. You can start working on the amp. So you could just pop this out. And let's say you didn't hit the Ziggs, you hit this the Annie. Well, that's more amp. So you can either have your AP items on her if you 2-star her, and you have your AD items on Samara, and it's totally fine. Amp is a really cool trait that's very strong. It makes the ult of amp champions just have more procs. So like Samara will shoot more bullets. I don't 100% know what Annie does. I know, and Yumi's an amp as well. She just shoots more of her little AP spell. But that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, I did try to shorten this one up. The last one was 22 minutes. Go ahead and put it in the comments. Tell me what you think about this comp. If you have a comp that you think is super strong or good for a fast day, or even those really crazy ones that are hard to hit, I do have another video. It's really broken. It's Nitro, and because the dinosaur gets more health throughout the game, having your Renekton eat him gives Renekton a ton of health, and he can be he can be a good late game carry, especially with all the resistances from Bastion. But anyways, I appreciate it. Peace.